sail this ship down the open waves. I've spent my whole life working for you beneath these rays, and these final weeks I'm counting down the days till I see your face again.
In psychology, when we do in therapy, there's what's called a miracle question. If you woke up tomorrow and during the night a miracle had happened that meant that you were living your perfect lifestyle, how would you know? What would be different in life? So, for example, what would you see around you in this perfect life that you're having? Who would be there with you? Would you be with family? Would you be with a partner? Would you be by yourself, even? Where would you be? Would it be on an island? Would you be still living in Newcastle? Would you be living somewhere else? And the main important question, what would you be doing that day? These questions are all really important to kind of know what you want in life. Another way of looking at it is if I was to ask, in 5 or 10 years' time, what do you want your life to look like in terms of these three main areas? Health, which includes fitness, physical health, mental health. Wealth, which can include your job, where you want to be with that, whether you want to be doing the same job or even working at all. And your relationships, what would your friendships be like? Who would be in your circle of friendships? And whether you would be spending a lot more time with your family, or for some people, less time with their family. I just want everybody just now, we'll just give this a go, because we can talk about it, and yeah, it can be interesting, but it doesn't necessarily lead to anything. If everyone now, just close your eyes just for a minute, and I'm not going to ask anybody to, to shout out what their goals would be, just allow yourself to go with it. Right now, with your eyes shut, if you imagine yourself in 10 years' time, you're living your perfect life. It doesn't matter how you got there, overnight a miracle had happened, and you're there, what would you be doing? Who would you be with? Where would you be? Imagine it in vivid detail. Imagine what the weather's like, whether there's sun beaming down, or whether you're inside. What would you be planning to do that day? Just keep hold of that image, let it develop more and more like a video than an actual photograph. Just think about exactly what your life would look like if this miracle happened. Okay, just hold on to that feeling and just open your eyes. Keep that feeling in mind. When you get home, or even today, write down what you saw there in your mind. Write it in as much detail as you can, okay, and put it somewhere. Put it somewhere safe where you can look at it, you know exactly where it is. Because with setting goals, that's one thing. Another part of it is actually how you go about achieving it. If I was to condense it down into 5 tips to achieve your goals, the first one would be about deconstructing your goal. There is only 2 questions you need to ask in order to do this. One is, when you've got that image, what do I need to do in order to get there? Or the other is, what do I need to do before I can do that? If you go through that process with a piece of paper and you ask yourself, what do I need to do in order to do that? It will lead to another step. So for example, if the goal here was to get a promotion, you could ask, what do I need to do in order to do that? It might be increasing the number of sales. Ask yourself, what do I need to do in order to do that? And so on. And eventually, I guarantee you, you will always come down to something that you can do right now. Not even that day, something right now. Okay? And that's a process that I've used with lots of people. not just people I work with, but in private industry and companies as well, and with myself. It does work. Number 2 would be list why you are capable of achieving these things. It's not just about what you want, it's about why and how you feel you can get them. This person on the screen, I'll just move over so everyone can see. This is a friend of mine called Nathan, who I used to train martial arts with. Over the course of 2 years, Nathan went from being 87 kilograms to 60. Okay? It was largely for the sport, but the way that he did this was he realised that what he eats is within his control. Whether he goes to the gym is within his control. Whether he finds a hobby or an interest that is conducive to achieving this was within his control. It's not just about what you want to achieve, it's about recognising that you can actually take active steps as well in order to help yourself progress. The third thing would be about surrounding yourself with like-minded people. If you want to achieve something, the research says that if you actually put yourself around other people who are heading in the same direction, you have a lot better chance of achieving it. Whether that's because you're being held accountable to your goals, or whether it's just because you can find a mentor who can guide you in how to do it. So, if you want to be successful, surround yourself with successful people. There's a concept in popular psychology that you're the average of the 5 people you hang around the most, which, if you think about it, makes sense. Like-minded people tend to hang around together. So, if you want to do something different, try and put yourself around the people who are actually there doing what you want to do. Step 4, or tip 4, which is the bit that a lot of people miss out, actually taking the risk. Setting the goals, again, it's easy. It's actually taking that big first step into doing it. There's an old saying about do what you've always done and you'll get what you've always got, okay? And I mean, I believe that is true. I could have stayed living at home, and I probably would have just stayed working at the clothes shop and at the working man's club. I might have been happy, I don't know. You know, I'm not saying that that would have been a bad thing to do. It's just that knowing how things could be different and actually taking the risk to take and go ahead and do it, that's something that really helped me in life. To put this another way, if we think about a comfort zone that everybody has, it's very easy to stay inside that. But the actual results, the actual growth, the things that you want are usually outside of that comfort zone. There is a period of anxiety that is normal to go through, just that comes with change, okay? Just because something doesn't feel comfortable, it doesn't mean that you're not getting where you want to go. Tip number 5, check in with yourself regularly. Again, with a piece of paper and a pen every few weeks. Just think, do I still want to achieve this goal? Do I need to change it? Am I on track for it? Ask yourself, why do I want to achieve it? Again, it fits with this idea about recognising why you're capable of doing it. Okay? People's lives change over time. Everything goes through a life cycle. It's the same with goals. What you wanted 10 years ago might not be the same as what you want now. So it's always helpful to reevaluate where you actually are, where you want to be. So if I was to give the 5 tips to achieving them, it would be those 5. And there are a lot more out there, but these I consider to be the main ones. I've kind of read 3 years worth of goal setting and psychology books so that you guys don't have to with that. Do one thing that you think you can't do. Fail at it. Try again. Do better the second time. The only people who never tumble are those who never mount the high wire. This is your moment. Own it. Okay, thanks a lot. I hope you enjoy the rest of today.